And as always, for everyone coming in, coming out, I hope everyone voted. If you didn't, it's too late now. Uh, but if you did, that's great. I was there at 7 o'clock this morning, like the old commercial, open, open, open. If you have your cell phones with you, make sure you put them on silent or on vibrate or something. If you need to take a phone call, please step outside and take care of it out in the hallway. Um, like as always, we always giving people opportunity to speak, but let's be respectful of each other and respectful of these members up here. But again, everybody will have an opportunity to speak if you want. We're going to go ahead and declare quorum. We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance and the pledge to Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. So we'll move on to public comments. Nobody's right now. I know that I can't remember now with AEP. Patrick, yes, if you want to go ahead and let's go ahead and step up, and we'll.
Huge district, right? Thank you, Mayor, council members. We've got an agenda item before you this evening. We are required by the Public Utility Commission to file for a rate review. Actually, the last rate case, it was agreed upon that we would file one in 4 years, and that time has come. What that's going to do is we're going to request them to review our current rate structure and incorporate the monies that have been spent in upgrading and providing service to new customers, to look at that expenses and then to adjust the rates accordingly. As a city, you have original jurisdiction over the rates in your community. So we go before all the communities that we serve, over 300 of them in Texas, and we bring this proposal to you. Actually, it sounds kind of counterintuitive, but we're requesting that you deny this rate case request at this level. What that's going to do is that's going to give all of our cities that have original jurisdiction, over 300 of them in Texas, that's going to send this rate case to the Public Utility Commission under one umbrella. At that point, interveners will come in and testify. They may dispute some of the expenses that we're trying to recover. It'll be a process that goes into the Public Utility Commission's hands, and this is normal. This is all normal kind of rate making procedures for utilities in Texas. Y'all may get them from the gas company periodically. You get some information from the gas company. So that's what's before you this evening. We have had a tremendous growth in AEP Texas over the past several years. Just right quick, between 2011 and 2021, AEP Texas peak demand increased by an average of about 56 megawatts per year for new load growth. Just about a decade ago, the company's peak demand over the last 2 years, and AEP Texas was all the volume. But over the past 2 summers, the average megawatt hour has increased over 500 megawatts over the past 2 years. So the growth that is occurring in our footprint under AEP Texas is just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. And that's what we have to do. We have to submit this rate review to the Public Utility Commission for them to analyze and look at the costs associated with our infrastructure and the amount of money we invest in the infrastructure. So basically, before you this evening, it is an ordinance for y'all to deny this rate increase at your level, and that will take it to the Public Utility Commission.
When you talk about the growth, you have Odem just broken out or not?
No, sir.
You know,
No, sir.
Just the state of Texas?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. These are pretty high level numbers.
Okay.
So it's and it's megawatt. It's kind of a load. As far as customers, that would be hard to determine at this point for specific.
And you said there's an ordinance. I know that you have that. Okay.
No, you can take action. It's just when it comes down to it, make a motion to approve resolution 634 denying any beach rate change request.
It's common, like he mentioned, Center Point, whenever they come, it's the same thing, they take it to the Public Utility Commission, and they just battle it out.
And the reason for that is when this thing is finalized, that way we can distribute the rate structures across all of our communities evenly. And we're not we're not having a rate structure for one community different from another. We're creating uniformity across all of the cities and all of the customers that we serve. And that's kind of the process.
When you deny it.
Yes. Yeah. You've got 35 days to act on it. Yeah.
Okay. So, we'll need to make a motion to. Where is it?
Well, that's low.
Is the resolution, I think what they're asking is the resolution designed to say denying? So we created to deny. So basically, they're just asking to approve the resolution because you already created to deny it.
Correct, yeah, if you want to focus on section 2 of the ordinance, it's going to get through. So yeah, you are approving to
So we're going to go ahead and item B. So that moves up. So do I have a motion? I said, do I have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve resolution 634.
I second.
Yes, sir. So is there any other discussion? So we're going to go ahead and move on vote. Place 1?
Yes.
Place 2?
Yes.
Place 3?
Yes.
Place 4? Place 5? Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate it.
And just briefly, had a really good meeting this morning. And he's got my cell phone number, has all of my contact information. So if anything comes up in the city in regards to AEP Texas that I can help y'all with, he's got my cell phone number. Don't hesitate to give me a call.
Okay,
Thank y'all.
Once the resolution's been signed, but everyone.
Thank you. So we're going to move on to item A. Discuss, consider, and take action to approve the minutes from the regular meeting held on February 6, 2024. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes
have a second? We have a motion by Councilman Gondala to approve the minutes from the regular meeting held in February 6, 2024, second by Alderman Falcone. Any discussion? All right, so we'll move on to vote. Phase one?
Yeah.
Phase two? Okay. Phase three? Phase four? Phase five? Motion carries. 4 yes and 1 abstain. Moving on to item B, the Economic Development Report, Resolution 633. Discuss, consider, and take action to approve Resolution 633, intended to provide $850 a month to the City Administrator, Salome Hernandez III, for compensation as the ex officio for the City of Odem Economic Development Corporation. Do I have a motion? And discussion?
I just want to clarify, because a lot of people can ask me about that. Basically what it is, we need assistance, economic development needs assistance. We discussed it, and we accepted a pay of the city council as its administrator that's paid in previous summers. So that's why we're saying, go ahead and up his pay, but he's gonna be helping. So he's not getting a freebie, he's gonna be handling all of the economic development side.
No, I mean, bylaws, we are, police staff and officers doing stuff to do like, bidding and stuff like that, so, yeah. And, you know, minutes, audits, and reports, so it's.
And opening the door for us over there, everything.
Yeah, so.
So again, on the resolution, which I have here, Resolution 633, if approved, basically, what he's being compensated for is, A, he'll attend all board meetings and participate in the discussion. B, will provide his expertise, guidance, and advice to the board on specific issues or concerns. C, assist and maintain financial records for the OEDC and assist in reconciliation of OEDC accounts and coordinate audits as approved by the board. D, will represent the organization at state, local, and other organizational meetings, be the liaison for the organization and act in its best interest. E, report to the board. He will provide regular reports to the board on the activities and progress of the organization. F, vote on the board decisions if approved and allowed by the bylaws. The ex officio may have the right to vote on board decisions. That will be left up to the board. G, serve on committees. He may coordinate and serve on committees or subcommittees of the board to help on special projects and address specific issues or concerns. So there's a lot to the position that he's going to have to be. Not only now is he going to be overseeing the city's day-to-day operation, but also be working with the EDC board and maintaining their day-to-day operation. Just because they only meet quarterly, but there's a lot going on that, you know, obviously because the board members have their daily jobs, somebody has to coordinate all this stuff, their meetings. Again, I think that we talked about audits, talked about reconciling accounts and stuff, so that's something that, you know, they're going to have Mr. Hernandez here helping them with. So it's, like Mr. Huerta said, it's a lot of work that he's going to be doing, and I appreciate that. So, any other discussion? So I have a motion to approve the resolution 633 intended to provide $850 a month to the city administrator, Salome Hernandez, for compensation as the ex officio for the city of Odem Economic Development. It was second by Councilman Dominguez. If there's no more discussion, we'll move forward with the vote. Phase one, phase two, phase three, phase four, phase five. sign.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Matter of fact, April 1st is a report. Report April 1st.
Yeah. Item C, discuss, consider, and take action to add the city administrator, Salome Hernandez III, to all city of Odem bank accounts. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the, take action to Hernandez to all city voter bank.
Second by, we have a motion by Alderman Falcon, second by Alderman Dominguez to add city administrator Salome Hernandez to all city of Odem bank accounts. Any discussion? Then we'll go ahead and move forward with the vote. Place 1,
Yes.
place 2, place 3, place 4, place 5, place 12. That's it. Motion carries. I was gonna add another person, man. So we've already done item B. We're gonna move on to announcements and non-action items. The first thing on here is an update for the Office of Compliance and Monitoring for the Office of the Governor regarding the Lone Star grant. As many of y'all know, there were some issues. There was an audit done regarding the Lone Star grant. Oh, I'm sorry. Do we have? Oh no, we're on track. I saw Hector there, and I was like, okay, did I skip Hector? As many of y'all know, there were some discrepancies found in the information that was provided to the state during an audit on one of the grants that we have that was helping with the police department. In one of our recent city council meetings, we approved bringing in a consultant. I spoke to different firms and different law firms that could assist us. And of course, cost is always an issue, especially with our financial situation. So we will be hiring David Curillo, Ring, and Garza, attorney at law. They've been hired to look into the discrepancies associated with the grant. They will start by reviewing documentation submitted to the OOG from the police department. During the audit, as part of their review, they may be obtaining records from the sheriff's department to verify actual time work, obtaining affidavits through the review and staff. The goal is to put together a comprehensive response to the OOG on the discrepancies and provide the council with clarity on what occurred with the process. In the process, other information is obtained, and we have to expand the scope of the review. We will address that at the time, or I will address that at the council. We want to make sure that when we submit a report to the OOG, they gave us till the 12th. The 10th?
10.
The 12th, right?
I thought it was
So-
a 10.
Yeah, I think they gave us till the 12th to start getting information to them. So my goal is to start getting things into them. We've got a policy that provided a policy to us that Sal's been working on to kind of make it fit the city of Odem. Now, I think, Sal, you're kind of running into some issues because of the city policy. Policy, I guess, is that what it is? So we may have to review, and once Sal makes some of the changes, we'll send it to all the council members for review. We might submit a draft without really approval, just so they can have something to look at. I did speak to the director of the OOG audit department, Ms. Foster, and she said if you submit a draft, we'll review it, and they might, kind of make recommendations, but they know that all that there's a process in the government where it has to come before the council has to approve it. So but we're going to try to get it back to them here quick before the deadline. Also, Monday, working with our bookkeeper to try to get a ledger. They send us kind of an example or gave us an example of what they would like to see. But it's going to be kind of difficult because it's already been coded into the system one way. So breaking it out might be something that he's going to have to work with the auditors from San Patricio. I think he's reached out to them to see if they can kind of help to see if there's some way that we can backtrack to the previous years to kind of make those little changes, not necessarily money-wise, but just kind of the way it was documented was not the way that the OOG would like to see. And one example is if I worked 73 hours of regular time and then I worked 8 hours of Lone Star time, well, in our system, it's all included together. So what the OOG wanted to see is 73 hours of regular time, days with Maldonado, and then, 4 hours of Lone Star time, kind of broken up, and it wasn't done that way. So he's going to have to kind of work through that to try to see if there's some way to backtrack and make those changes on our financial system. I don't know if it's possible, but we'll see.
Right. I mean, so just to piggyback on that, the alternative if you can't backtrack and code correctly, that was a problem. Put in an extension, potentially code it to a specific budget, and then you have line items that describe the outputs. But again, like you said, that wasn't done, so it's all in this large pool. So right now, if you're able to go to intake, you would have to run the entire ledger for the entire fiscal year. Someone has to remember what those were, compare them to invoices. So that's kind of what we're doing. So hopefully we can work with Tom and get the planning and do that might be easy
to remember the vendors. What was purchased from the vendors for the grant? And the only one that can remember that would be Isabel. She's the secretary at the PD. So I think because they would turn in an invoice, because I even questioned him, is there any way you can code it? He says, no, I didn't code it. Do you remember what they did? I don't remember. She said the only one is going to be Isabel that's going to remember. I mean, maybe you might run and reach out to her and just ask her.
I was under the impression also that the police department may have been using their own financial software. So that might have been another particular hang up between the two offices.
Well, we might have to look on. There might be some hard copies of things. I know that I went on eGrants today, and there is a way of printing out a list of things that were purchased from through the grant that we asked for reimbursements. So I think I emailed them to you. You can print them out on an Excel sheet, and we can kind of go through and see, okay, I think there was binoculars and bulletproof vest and a vehicle that we bought. And so we can kind of go through that and mark it off and say, okay, well, we bought 25 bulletproof vests. Okay, so we can mark them off and we can find out, just basically go back and see what the invoice and what the vendor was, and see how we're going to show difference if this was in the grant and this one was, so it's going to take some time. I spoke to Ms. Miriam, the auditor that overseeing our account. She was very helpful. She says, I understand, it's going to take time. She said, as the deadline gets closer, just send us what you guys have, and we'll talk about an extension as we move closer to that deadline. The whole goal here is obviously to be able to do things correctly in the future so we don't run into this situation again. But also so we don't have to pay back the $144,000 that they're requesting, that they're questioning. I shouldn't say requesting, but questioning. Now, she did say that as we turn in information to them, they will review it, and they may go ahead and review the audit again, and we may still be required to pay back some amount, maybe not the full amount, and just partial. So the whole goal is to kind of work with them and keep them in the loop. So like that, we're going to ask for a little bit more time as we move forward. Hopefully, we can get this with the help from our consultant. They're going to reach out to them as well this week. They've already started receiving stuff from Mr. Hernandez that they're going to be reviewing. Hopefully, we can get a really good response to what they want, and we can kind of get this corrected soon, so we can kind of get moving forward and make sure that we do things differently going forward for any future grants.
Now, Sal, are you gonna want to do a separate ledger? Because that's what was requested, is for them to do a separate ledger, because it's a lot easier versus putting everything
Right.
with the pool cash. And that's what happened, is that, they made payments from pool cash, and they lost control from that. Oh, you need this.
That's what I'm hoping we could. Yeah. Well, I'm just
Right.
hoping we can pull it off with Homer. Like we just go back in there and reassign the expenses.
Yeah.
We can rent that code out and we can have that. Otherwise, it's going to end up being possibly just like a spreadsheet. And have to go like I said, I'll find out more once I get with
But for future,
Oh, yes,
you
no,
gonna
for future.
recommend
Oh, yeah.
to do a separate ledger just specifically for grants?
Yes.
Or are you gonna want to just,
No, every
it's a lot easier if you do.
your standard
Something like
practice, your standard financial practice, especially for grants, is that each grant it has a specific budget code,
Correct.
and even if you get the same grant every year, that number should change so that you can always centralize your expenses in one spot and you can always yank them out.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I mean standard. Even now, I mean not to get off
Yeah.
task too much, but I mean that should just be for any budget that we have. Service. so to speak.
Yeah, so it's not going to be. It's not what I spoke to her about that this morning. It can't be. It has to be part of our financial software system. So it can't be like we're going to have. Because I even asked her. I said, "Well, what if we can do this and just manually on an Excel sheet take everything out and put it in an Excel sheet and present it to you?" She said, "No, that's not going to work. It has to be part of your financial system that's in place already." So that's why
Just needs
you're
to be
going to have to.
coded.
Yeah, it just needs to be coded separately. Yeah, and I think Ms. Yolanda kind of understands it pretty good. So it's just a matter, can we go back to 2021 and recode those expenses to show the report? So, but hopefully with our consultant, with the assistance of our auditors here, we can get that and hopefully get a report to them here in the next, I think, couple of weeks, I guess. Next week, so try to get something to
Yeah,
them early
I'm-
next week.
Yeah,
No,
well,
they
I'm gonna
are
try to get a handle
requesting
of it.
just, the overtime was just $763. They're requesting that. You're not gonna get a
Yeah, no,
reimbursement.
we're
Did
we're
y'all
stuck with
send that already?
No, not yet.
No, that'll be next week. When is this a pay week? I don't remember.
Next week is it?
Okay, so
No,
Right,
they
right.
said they want that as soon as possible. That's not reimbursement.
Right,
Forget that.
we're on the hook for that much at least, for sure.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
yeah, we still care about that.
Yeah, that's solid.
So we want to do is do a with them. So I thought they're talking to them. They're not talking to anybody else other than So we're gonna arrange that. No, the director is a little upset because I think he's getting a lot of phone calls and a lot and misinterpretation to what was being done. One person and misinterpreted. So she said we need to try to keep it, you know, really in the letter. Well, I explained to him that we need to stay within the budget that we have. We can't go without council approval. So we're going to try to do as little as possible. So she. Yeah, you know, I don't want to upset them any more than we are, you know. So, yeah,
I mean, obviously, they emailed all of us.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
You're right.
So, I mean, well, we'll keep you. I mean, I'll forward anything that they send me to me. I'll forward to y'all. I mean, I'm gonna keep y'all in the know for sure. Any discussions, and they're very good about, like, to this morning I spoke to Miriam, and I don't know the eGrant software well enough to print out reports, so she tried to help me, but she referred me to the grant manager, but he was out today, so I'll meet with him tomorrow. But she followed up with an email right away, so and I think she did the same thing with you as well. She follows up real quick with an email, and I'll forward that information to y'all so y'all are staying in the loop as well. I want to make sure that, you know, when we're meeting for this kind of stuff, that y'all know way ahead of time. And
That's a good point, that she emailed him, but she didn't email us, so we don't know what was said.
Right.
That's what she's trying to put everybody in the loop.
Yeah. So what we'll do is I'll forward that email to y'all because I got that email later on in the afternoon. So I'll forward that to y'all so y'all know what the conversation was. Well, we're going to stay under that budget. I already told them that they needed, yeah, so they're going to be, you know, I explained to them that, you know, the whole purpose of this is, you know, to try to get this report into them without exceeding, you know, that. And I think that if we can save some money, you know, I mean, we might make that expense as we go along, but, you know, they say that they can help us put together a comprehensive action plan, you know, then I think it's a savings on the back end. So now, any other discussion on that? We'll move on to item B, discuss amending the updating the fee schedule for development services to include planning and zoning, platting fees, residential construction, commercial construction, contractor registration. Since the chief is no longer with us, there were some contractors that were had some inspections that needed to be done, and they had been waiting for some time. They were trying to close on some properties, and the inspections hadn't been done. So we had to bring in someone to help us out, and I realized that our fees are pretty minimal compared to some of the other cities and what they charge. So I wanted to just kind of bring this up and to look at our fee schedule for development and compare to other cities around. So I'm trying to get from some of the other cities as well. We got this stuff from Portland. I don't know when the last time it was. I mean, did we even when the last time you guys looked at
Last time
fees?
we did it was in 20. The people flying, they got upset. So we had to go back to the table and lower it because there was a lot of new houses.
Well, I think we need to look at. So we need to look at the contract, especially the new development. I mean, that's kind of where the new development is. I mean, I understand if they want to. We're not gonna talk about anything like parking or something like that. It's just mostly for development. I got some stuff from Portland. I don't know what they responded. They responded pretty quick. But Portland's a little bigger than us, you know. But if we're gonna be looking at new development, then we really need to say, okay, well, this is what we're gonna charge, and this is what the fees are gonna be. So staff can work on. We should work on that. Just call some of the other cities in San Patricio and see what their fees. I think they can see the other fees.
Also buildings.
I did so, I,
Building,
I did,
Yeah, the builders.
I did do some initial research, and basically with the average charge that the inspector would provide, we would end up losing money with the current schedule if we're not doing it properly at least 4 times. So if they, if they could do such a situation, didn't have everything ready for them to inspect because it's a charge per trip. So with at least 4 trips, with the schedule we have, we would lose money. So I guess we need to,
The thing about it is that the police chief was running too fast. He was also an inspector. So when we started out, we were only paying him $7,500. So that's why we accepted the increase. I don't know. So you already hired the
Well, he's a to fill out some of the inspections. And not bringing in as a contract. So he understands we're not signing no agreement or nothing with him. Like, look, I just did this research.
I would want to hire.
There's another technology. They do sentence they do tasks as well, and they have a very comprehensive package of what their fees are. They can do commercial, they can do plotting, they can do, and the way they're set up is if it's a new development, like a new home or a new development, they charge one fee for the whole thing, no matter how many times they have to go out. If they have to go out and re-inspect multiple times, they're not. It's so. Bureau Veritas.
I think I've seen it. Yeah.
And they do Sinton. I talked to the city manager in Sinton. He's like, yeah, we're very happy. The guy that in this area, I think they're out of the Houston or Dallas. I'm not sure. I don't want to lie to you guys, but he's out of Rockford, the inspector out of this area. And he did send me the packet. I think it's in the document, scan it, and send it over to you. And maybe if you guys decide to go with them, we can just set up our fees around what they maybe have like a 15% administrative fee because our staff will still have to coordinate and
And some of this stuff can still go under the. It just goes back to the International Building Code. So I don't know if you know, but our previous administrators would always just follow the International Building Code.
yeah, I mean, you guys do that kind of. I mean, y'all deal with inspectors and inspections, and I mean. So you know Bureau Veritas, and how? I mean, what can you tell us about it? I mean, because they do mechanical, they do electrical, plumbing, they do foundation. I mean, from what I read, I mean, so
I think it's good.
it might be. So I'll send you. I'll scan that information and send it to y'all for review.
Mayor, if I could just clarify for anyone who maybe has questions about it, it's not going to cost us anything to get a third-party inspector. They build in their own costs. Like city makes its money on the permit side and its administrative fees, so it doesn't really cost us anything. So we'll be looking for any additional.
Item C, home inspections. Kenny G home inspections. He's out of town. You know, we have some homes that were kind of waiting to close on. So there were some inspections that they had been waiting on. So he was recommended to me by one of the mayors. He said, hey, he's pretty good. I met with him. So I don't think at this point there's really
Yes, he sent us the invoice. I believe it was for 4 inspections. It was about $400 plus. 75. Yeah, for each trip.
That's not bad.
No, it's pretty good. Yeah.
That's a good price.
So,
Yeah, so in one,
Our marshal charges like $125.
yeah, so in one trip, if they have everything ready, it's one trip for 75 to knock it out. So you do everything for each trip.
yeah, I think what we need to do though, is there was one where they something failed. I don't know, it was on the mechanical side or something that failed. And I think that if they fail, I think we should put that onus back on them, on the owner.
Oh,
You
yeah.
gotta pay that. If they gotta come back again,
Yeah.
we have to pay for it. We should let the
Right. Yeah, I mean they should come.
Builder.
If they get a permit and then they get the inspection and they fail, they get to come back to us for another permit to initiate the inspection to go out again.
that's the way for us not to have that
If
expense.
we're gonna increase the fees and we're all in agreement, then we're definitely gonna have to go to the table to revise the budget. But
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to review the budget. So, yeah. So, of course, we'll get to that when we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So, any other discussion on that? So again, I just brought him in to finish some of these inspections because they need to finish some of these homes. Item D, the drainage improvements on Front Street. This is San Patricio Drainage District. I've been emailing with Michael Vanek at the San Patricio Drainage District to try to put this on their schedule. My last email from him was on February 27th, and he stated that they had the survey information available and they would schedule it as soon as possible. I mean, I get a lot of people complaining because of the drainage, the water kind of runs cold. So, I just basically referred them to the drainage district. I already talked to them because they put it on the schedule as soon as possible. So I just kind of poking at them to get it ready. And basically, what they're going to do is just redo the ditches. Some of the residents are saying, well, are y'all going to extend it? At this time, but they do want to start out so hopefully they'll get that on the schedule soon, sooner than later. Oh, the commissioner. Oh, for the drainage.
It should be 2 weeks or next week, so maybe.
Okay.
Sure, they want it.
Yeah, we might have to do that.
Just to make sure.
To make sure that the higher ups are aware. Item E, the water improvement project. Those are the ARPA funds that we're using to get the 3 new water pumps. To kind of update us on that. I appreciate it.
We already had the pre-con and everything. We're waiting on we got the submittals and the pipe, the fittings and everything. The concrete, the mix design. We're just waiting on the submittals for the pump. The 3 pumps on skid. We should be getting that hopefully this week or next week. Once we approve that, they'll start manufacturing the pump, and we're hoping to have that by the end of May. And then the contractor to install them. So we're kind of right now preliminary. End of July, August. So yeah, August.
And that's with the
Electrical controls, everything, piping.
And we did get a change order. And,
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about it. So
Yeah, that was a reduction. We had everything was above ground, ductile iron. We met with the contractor, kind of discussed there's some options because ductile iron was a lot more expensive than PVC. So we're going underground. Usually underground you use PVC, above ground you use the ductile iron. I don't have the amount, so I think it went down like 40. So we average 40
on that. Now, part of the and just so the community is aware, part of that, there's going to be a way for us to take the water tower offline so we can service it, right? There'll be some way
Yeah,
to
there's
reroute.
there VFD pumps, variable frequency, so they run all the time, but they run at different like percentage. It might run like at 5%, but then when you rev up, so and then the elevator, it's pressure. So when you take that out, the pumps would regulate the pressure in the system.
Okay, because because I did put on there the COG funds, and I know that you met with the COG and the two projects.
Yeah.
We're going to be using some of those funds to get the generator that we weren't able to get with the ARPA funds. That's one of the things that we're looking at adding as part of the COG. And we're also looking at, servicing the water tower. So being able to take it, and I explained to them that we wouldn't be able to take it offline until you guys were done with your project, and they understood. And that's going to be kind of over $1 million. Well, I think it's like over $2 million with. But we'll be able to do that. We'll take the tower offline, and we'll get the generator. We should have 3 brand new the end of July, August, you said?
August.
End of August?
Well, I heard that, oh, he's gonna place the order in May.
Oh, okay.
And then,
Well, no, when you're doing the submittal right now, we have to once we approve that, they start manufacturing at the factory.
And those are going to be like the pump we have right now is kind of what they call a vertical pump,
Yeah, they're
Right.
gonna be horizontal.
and these will be horizontal.
Yeah,
So
they're usually the
horizontal.
horizontal.
All right. Any other questions? I'm excited. Let me know when you're gonna break ground so we can all be there and
Okay. Yeah, I'll let you know.
All right. I appreciate it. Victor. Thank you.
Thank you.
The final thing on here is I know people are still, there's still a lot of potholes out there, but our maintenance guys, we are looking at hiring a new guy, and hopefully, we'll be able to get out there. But we did try this new product, this Aquafault on Nolan Street, and I think
Looks good.
it's
Still-
pretty
still
good.
there.
It's still there. I've been passing by there a few times
Still
just to
there.
take a look at it. It's different. It's not crushed asphalt. It's actually crushed granite, and then it's got a binder in it that's activated with water. So when we pour it into the pothole, we tap it down. We pour some water on it. The binder activates, and it glues basically everything together. And I've passed by there on Nolan, and they're still. They haven't sunk or anything. So the product seems to be pretty good. I didn't order a whole lot of it initially because I didn't want to, what if it's no good? What's the point? But so far, even on the big hole that's there, right? The
Pretty good,
big
yeah,
hole
it's
still,
When did you have it put in?
a couple weeks ago.
Looks good. Easy to put in.
I'm sorry.
We need a big rain. to see the water.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not only,
Yeah.
some of the product works with water.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what he's saying.
Yeah.
The thing
Yeah.
about it is, while you still have heavy equipment, meters like Family Dollar, and our maintenance guys, back in the day, we bought them a saw where they're supposed to saw cut all the way, you clean it out. They're not doing it, it's just a,
Oh, no, yeah.
but if they do it the correct way, it should be a mistake. Another thing is we have over $200,000 in the street maintenance. We need to start seal coating on the streets. So as soon as you patch, you've got a seal coat so all that oil and rock will stay on top of that. If we don't do that, I don't know.
And we'll start looking at that here pretty soon as well, because not only do we have the funds there for the road maintenance, but we also have we can use some of the funds from the municipal fees as well to help with some of the roads. So, that will be next. That product is working pretty good. Like I said, they haven't gone out there like Councilman Huerta said. Typically you want to cut out, especially the big ones, you want to cut them out. But we had the vendors come out and actually give us what's it called, like a presentation, and he actually went out there and he showed us some of the areas that we had concern with, and we asked him, do we have to cut these out? And he's like, you know what? So these smaller ones, just take the loose stuff on the edges away, and he poured it in there himself, put the water, tapped it down himself, and I mean, this is on Lotus Street. Yeah, within 5 minutes, it was good to drive over. Within 2 days, I went over there and it was like hard as concrete because it's not asphalt; it's actually granite. So it's a different product. So I mean, it's a little bit more expensive, but we're not going to be having to fix potholes over and over again. I think it's worth it. So we'll move on to item 4, reports. Place 1, you have anything to report?
The only thing I have is, I don't know if, did y'all give a raise, $2 raise to two maintenance crew guys?
Yes.
Okay, because it was not in budgeted for us to give them a $2 raise. I understand also that somebody got a supervisor position,
Yes.
because the supervisor position has to go before council,
Okay.
and the council decides on the supervisor position. I mean, I'm okay with the guys. They do work very hard, and they do deserve a raise. But I understand that there's some of them did not get a raise, so we just got to be careful with that.
Well, we were trying to bring them all up to an equal pay because we did have the 2 guys that were getting paid like $12 an hour,
Yeah.
and they were doing the majority of the
Mhm.
work. And even with the 5% increase, they still didn't match up to some of the other that were, already making more. And it just seemed, with the kind of amount of work that they were doing and the amount of staff that we're short, that I mean, they needed to be compensated for the work that they were doing. And so we're trying to bring them up to at least even with what some of the others were making.
Yeah.
And so we'll,
Now,
know-
the supervisor position, did you make him a foreman for the maintenance, or did you
he's
make
not
him a
really an
supervisor for?
official supervisor, really.
Oh, okay,
An
just a
official,
foreman.
it's just kind of overseeing
Oh, okay,
everything right now.
okay.
Not like
Yeah.
official
'Cause,
title kind of
Right,
thing. It's
okay.
just kind of,
Because
he's
normally
overseeing everything.
supervisors, and you probably know this, supervisors, you want somebody that has licenses and a little bit more experience in
Yeah, he's kind of
municipality and
I
stuff.
just call him our team lead.
He's
Basically.
he's a
Like our
foreman.
team
Yeah,
lead.
team lead.
Whenever anybody needs to talk to somebody, I just say, well, our lead guy is,
Yeah.
and I'll refer him to him. He's not really,
Yeah.
like I said, he's not necessarily like a supervisor per se.
Okay.
It's more
Yeah,
just of
and
a
you
team
do need,
leader.
you do need a lead guy out there.
Because he keeps up with everything, all the work orders, and he's got, calls coming from everywhere, from the city hall, from me, and now from Sal.
Yeah.
And last night they were out there again till like 6:30, I think, when they turned the water back on.
I think we wrapped it up around 7 o'clock, so a little after 7. Yeah. And then,
Yeah, so he coordinates a lot of this stuff. He coordinates
Mhm.
the water, all the water repairs, everything. So, I mean, like I said, he's not technically like a
Okay.
title supervisor. He's kind of just, I call him our team lead, basically.
No, that's good. All right.
Place 2, anything to report? Place 3?
Yes, how bad is our water meter problem? I'm
Bad.
getting people calling, and
But
they went to a house, and I don't know what was going on, but they couldn't even find the water meter.
Yeah.
Is that possible? I mean, they get a bill, but
I mean-
I know our guys went out there and they could not find the water meter.
Well, I can tell you that
It's on.
in my house, the water
time.
meter is under dirt. I mean, I have to dig it up periodically because it gets covered up with dirt. But because the water meters are now done electronically, the maintenance guys don't go through the alleys like in the old days checking up. So they don't know if the water meter's covered up with dirt or not, because they go with a wand. And until somebody reports something and they have to go out and fix something, that's when they realize, oh shoot, we have to dig this water meter out and we have to put a new box, because sometimes some of the old boxes have broken and eroded because they were plastic. And I think at one time they started going from the concrete ones to the plastic ones, and
Yeah.
they're not very well. They end up cracking and breaking. So yeah, there are a lot of water meters that are underground and
But they're
hidden.
working, right?
Well,
Yeah, they're
well,
working.
they
So-
work, but there's still like 150 water meters that are not registering, and those, yeah,
See, it was never that high. You know, remember we got all brand new meters.
That's,
So
we, remember we had I had a vendor come in
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
A new vendor come in and talk to Angela. There's a bunch of them and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna give the information that I sat
Yeah,
down with a
okay.
vendor. We're
Yeah.
gonna have to replace all of them.
But you all
Right.
have the list of the households that
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, she does.
well,
There's-
once they're starting to do rereads, Angela knows. Because the wand, it's not gonna read it.
And then there's
So,
where we can start replacing
That's,
new meters.
that's what you gotta put new meters.
there's three things going on. There's the meters that are buried underground that are
No meters.
that are hard to find. There are the meters that are not reading when they go through with the wand, because either the wires are cut or somebody, maybe the mower, somebody went by there and cut the wires. So those, the guys have to go and actually read them, visually read them. And the third thing is the meters that are not reading, period. That what they do is they basically are looking back at the history of their use and just basically charging them. Okay, well, you've been using this much water over the last few months, so this is what we're going to charge you this month. And it's basically they're just doing, which we could be undercharging or overcharging. We don't know. So,
Yeah, it could go both ways.
Yeah.
And that's what the problem we had
Yeah.
was back in the day, we went all brand new and some of them we were losing.
mhm.
And some of them we were gaining, but
Right.
I mean, we don't know that.
Yeah, so some people may be getting undercharged, some people may be getting overcharged. So on those meters that are not functioning at all, they're not even registering. Even if you go over there, they're not
Yeah.
marking any of the water.
And then Councilman, I think the warranties already expire on those. The warranties are.
So-
No, it's already
Yeah.
been 5 years,
Yeah.
6 years.
So it's, the vendor that came, he had some good.
They have a good system. Some of the one that came out, they're actually pretty good, because if there's even a water leak between like my house and your house,
Detects it.
it'll detect that there's a loss in water pressure somehow, and it won't tell you exactly where the
Right,
leak
but it's gonna
but
tell you that
It'll
there's
tell
a
you
leak.
it's between this house and this house. So instead of digging up the whole alley, we just dig up that area right there. It'll kind of give the guys kind of an area to start off. Right.
Well, with today's technology, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do.
Everything will be, it's a new,
And then it also has an automatic
Exactly.
cutoff too.
yeah. Yeah, and it has an automatic
I mean,
cutoff, so if they gotta shut off the power,
Yeah.
you can just put it to cut off on certain dates, and
Oh,
It'll
yeah.
shut the water off.
Yeah.
So-
There's a leak.
if there's a
There's a
leak,
leak too, yeah.
yeah, there's a leak, an emergency, we don't have to send a guy out there to go turn it. It
Like I
shuts
say,
off
with
by
today's
itself.
technology, AEP, with all my rentals that I buy, and you just call them up and they do it aerial. They don't come down anymore.
Well, they
just-
even have, it's a little bit more expensive. They even have it where they can put antennas, like, because the city's so spread out with Bethel, because we provide water service to a larger area. But they can put an antenna that will read the meters
Mhm.
And send the signal to the computer at the
At the
office
city hall.
without somebody ever having to go out there and driving. But that's a little bit more expensive. I think we're good with somebody driving around with the wand right now. And it's not even a wand anymore. You just put it's like a
And-
magnet on top
and,
of the
Yeah, and he's got a little,
150 that are working.
yeah, that's
No,
People are kind of-
yeah.
the gentleman did come in, he said some of them, that computers already going out too.
Yeah.
So we got.
Well, the system we have right now.
It's all about right.
The software's not going to be updated anymore.
So-
Right.
So we're going to have to look at something different anyway. So, phase 4, you got
Oh, no,
anything?
no,
Well,
no.
okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
One more, then you can move on.
But you're always in a hurry to go.
Are
So
we gonna have a workshop for the police department?
yes, we're going to have to have a workshop. I know we're going to have a workshop, but Michelando wasn't going to be, and I want everybody to be there to be able to say how we're going to move forward. So yeah, let me look and see what our schedules are like. I'll send an email out so we can meet about that. That's all. All right, phase 4.
EDC wise, you got anything on that, Easter egg drop, you probably got more information.
March the 24th.
March 24th?
The meeting is drop. We're actually having a meeting on Thursday at Mi Pueblo. Helicopter drop.
Yeah, helicopter.
We're going to be dropping about 2,000 eggs for the kids from the helicopter. We're trying to convince Councilman Pascual to dress as the Easter Bunny and maybe repel.
No,
Hey, you're an ex-Marine.
no,
Repel
that's
from the
Billy's job.
helicopter.
I'll do it.
In the Easter Bunny, in the Easter Bunny outfit. There we go. We got a volunteer. Y'all heard him.
I might pop my back, but I'll do it.
So
Is it gonna drop like in the neighborhood?
Oh, better.
no, at Veterans Park, we'll have the kids out there. We're gonna have a separate area. So I'm collecting. We want to collect some eggs to have a separate area for the kids who have like maybe disabilities or some of the little ones, the babies, or special needs kids. We can have an area already laid out for them. So when the helicopter comes and they drop that first load of eggs, they'll have their own area and they don't get run over by the mob of kids going out there because I know they're going to be excited. I'm excited already. We haven't done it yet. So that's the kind of stuff that excites me. So it'll be around 3 o'clock. We haven't decided 3 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We have to coordinate with the helicopter guy. And then he'll fly off and he's going to go land somewhere while the kids gather up those eggs. Then we'll get another group, like an older group. We'll have the little ones first and then we'll have the older group. And then he'll fly back around and, the bunny will be hanging from the rope again as he flies through.
That was 30 years ago, man. I don't know if I could do that.
EDC and Odem events together. So. Well, it'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll start dieting. But it should be fun. It should be fun for the kids. So, anything else, please?
No, what's it? Yeah, I'm just happy he's here.
Yeah, place 5.
He did a good job.
It'll be on a Sunday, ma'am. Sunday, because Saturday the 23rd is open Little League season plus basketball championship games at the gym. So there's a lot going on, and we don't want parents upset because my kid couldn't go because we were playing basketball and all that stuff. So, place 5, nothing.
Nothing.
Make a
All
motion to
right.
adjourn.
A motion to adjourn by Councilman Falcon, second by Councilman Candela. All in favor, say aye. Meeting's adjourned.